Today we're going to go through a tour of my guitar collection, I guess we'll call it. I like music and I enjoy playing it, but I really don't collect these like I do other product categories. This is just on a hobby level and I can't throw that kind of money at it. I've received a decent number of requests over the years to show the different ones that I have, and I've never done it because everything I have is a basic economy model that I bought over the last 10 to 15 years. Most of these are probably still under production, and there's nothing here that's like rare or vintage or particularly valuable, so I just didn't think that it would be interesting. But maybe that's why it's interesting, is because it's affordable stuff. I don't know. Whatever the reasoning is, we'll go through it and maybe it'll be a disappointment. I don't know. So this is a bass. This is the only bass I have. This is a, gosh, this video is going to be a glare freak show. Should have done this on a cloudy day. This is a Squire branded P bass, or precision bass. Many of the ones that I have are from the Squier brand. I think the Squier brand is excellent. It comes out of the same factory as the Fenders. I'm pretty sure it's warranted by the same people. It's more or less the same thing if you're not a brand snob. If you're a brand snob, well then I guess it's a different story. But from a practicality standpoint and an affordability standpoint, this stuff is excellent. Some of these, let's say, knockoff, cheaper brands, some of this stuff is not playable. Sometimes I'll run into like, a Washburn or whatever weird stuff at the thrift store, and I'll check it out just for the curiosity of it, and it's totally unplayable. And you don't want to buy stuff like that, because if you're just starting out and you get something that doesn't work right, it's impossible to learn on it, because you're just going to constantly get frustrated by it not working properly and not sounding properly. These Squire units, they come at a fraction of the price of others, but they are just as good. This thing is totally playable. It holds a tune, the action is correct, everything about this is correct. It feels nice, it looks nice, it works nice, except it comes at a fraction of the price. At the time, you could get these for under $150. This is going back, I don't know, 5 or 10 years when I got this. Now they're probably more like, I don't know, 170, 180 probably, somewhere in that range. I did check up the price on some of these prior to this taping, and it actually have not gone up all that much over the last 5 to 10 years, like a lot of things have. So these are still very affordable. They come in different variants. This one has 3 adjustments. It's 2 tones and 1 volume. I'm not sure if one of the tones is actually a sweep between the 3 pickups. It might be. I'm not going to go through and play every single one of these and give you audio samples and so forth. There's plenty of other better videos out there that will give you nice line quality hookups, that show you the sound and can go more technical than that. This is more just a brief overview to show you what's available at an affordable price. This one has the dual tone fretboard, which looks pretty cool. Some of these are like sanded and lacquered on the back. I don't like that. I feel like these are easier to move up and down when they're just sanded and not lacquered. There's the Squire logo, which might bother you if you're a brand snob, but I'm not, and I think that this is just as good. The P bass is a great starter. It's extremely universal. You can get almost any tone you want out of this to play any genre of music, and since these are so common, most people that know anything about mixing or post-processing a recording will know what these sound like and know how they sit in a mix. So they're very easy to deal with from that perspective. And I'm calling this a starter, but you could use this way beyond a starter. I would have no problem playing this in a live gig. They're just perfectly good. Another Squier. This is your classic Telecaster, except this is a Squire. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it actually says, what does it say? It says designed and backed by Fender. So again, it comes out of the same factory, same people you're dealing with. And like the P-Bass, this comes at a fraction of the price. You can get these for under $200. I want to say this was about probably around $150 as well at the time when I bought it. This is the one I probably play the most out of all of them. I just really like the way that it plays. It has very good action. It's very easy to play. You know, the Telecaster body I have some gripes with in terms of ergonomics, because it's just flat here. You know, when your arm is resting on this, it doesn't have a nice contour like the Strat does. So you know, that's not great. But in terms of sound and the playability of the strings and everything, this is great. I do like that this stuff is kind of out of the way more. On the Strat, it's a little bit over, and I tend to hit it. So the controls are nice and out of the way on this one. We have you got three different pickup selections, tone and volume. This one I have had some grounding issues with. This one, nothing catastrophic, but you will occasionally get a like a 60 hertz hum in the background if you don't have your hand on the strings. But it's like, I mean, if you're playing, you're going to have your hand on the strings, so it doesn't really matter. And not to mention, again, unless you're not, you know, if you're recording at a studio level quality, you might hear it in the background. But if you're just playing it at a hobby level, you're playing it live, the noise gets lost, you don't hear it anyways. The Stratocaster, I believe these can actually be had for less than $150. And it even says by Fender right there, because it's pretty much the same thing. This is actually very lightweight compared to some of the other ones. This is an excellent model as well. This plays pretty nice. The action is not quite as good as the Telecaster, but it's still very good. And I like the body shape on these. It has excellent ergonomics. The armrests on here real nice. Easy to hold, very comfortable, excellent model. Well, like I was saying on the other one, in the previous clip, I tend to hit the selector on this one sometimes because it's kind of in the playing zone. This has the jack on the front, which is kind of nice. It's easier on the chords. This has two tone controls, the volume, and I think this is a 5. Yeah, it's a 5 selection switch that goes between the 3 pickups. I don't know what kind of pickups these are. Like I said, there's other videos of this that are much more technical than I am, that can go through all these little details. This is another one that's pretty universal. You can play a lot of different types of music with this. And if you're just starting out and you want something that you can play a lot of different stuff with, this is probably your best bet of the 5 that we're going to show. Oh, 4 technically. The last electric we're going to look at is the LTD EC-256. This is the most expensive of the ones that we're going to show today. I think this was around $350 or so, but again, that was 5+ years ago. These are, I have mixed feelings about these. The sound is exceptional. These sound great. They're very heavy, extremely heavy. This is probably heavier than the bass. And the playability of it, I don't think it's quite as nice as some of the others. The strings are very elevated because the body's not flat, so the strings are kind of elevated up, and then your hand ends up floating around. I guess the trade-off is the sound on this one. This has the gold pickups, and I forget what that's called. The gold bridge and gold pickups. It looks really nice. It's kind of needs to be cleaned, but and you have your three selections. It is, I'm pretty sure there's 2 tone controls and 1 volume, and again I think one of the tones is a sweep between the 2 pickups. But and then you have your pickup selection up here, which I think this is much better to have this up here than at the bottom, because it's out of the way up here. This is how it should be. This has what I was mentioning before, the lacquered neck, and I don't like this. Your hand kind of sticks to it as you're moving along, and it's not ideal. But all that aside, this is excellent sounding guitar. Last one is this acoustic. This is an Indiana Madison guitar, which I don't know anything about this. I've had this for probably 15 plus years. No idea if this brand is even still around anymore. I don't know if this is necessarily a reputable brand or not. I think it has some more information inside there. I don't particularly like the way this one plays. The action is very, very high, much higher for my preference, and this is kind of difficult to play. Acoustic generally is more difficult to play than electric, but this one I think is worse than others. It sounds decent, it gets the job done, but at some point I would like to get a better acoustic one. So that's all the guitars I have. Hopefully this was interesting. If not, well, I kind of figured it wouldn't be, because there's nothing particularly interesting here, but for those that were interested to see it, there it is.